Okay, so hello everyone. So from today we are starting our company or corporate accounting. Okay, so for the old syllabus it is company accounts, and for the new syllabus it's corporate account. Okay, 90% of the syllabus is same. Wherever changes will be there, we'll take that separately. Okay, so before we start or we move on to any chapter, okay, what actually these accounts are related to? So by the word, it's very simple that it is accounting for a company. Correct. Then you can ask me a question, okay, a very basic question which might arise, okay, in your mind. Then, sir, what is FA? Okay, when we read about FA, सर वहां पे तो हम बैलेंस शीट पीएनएल अकाउंट सब कुछ करते हैं ना, अकाउंटिंग करते हैं, अलग से कंपनी अकाउंट आने की क्या जरूरत है? करेक्ट. So see, you'll see that only the what I can say, only they will collide at some places. Okay, otherwise it is a rule which is being framed by the. Okay, you will see that company accounts has taken the law somewhat from the Companies Act. Okay, where rules something has been prescribed, or by the SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India. Okay, some rules and regulations which are not there when we follow financial accounting. Okay, in fact, in financial accounting, we do financial statement, correct? But here we'll do financial statement as per Schedule 3. Okay, so difference will be there. Okay, things will remain the same, logics are same, everything is same, only the presentation will change. Okay, how we interpret things will change time to time basis. Correct. So before we start with anything else, we need to have a very brief or short discussion about the word company. Okay, and whatever I'm going to discuss about the word company, it's known by all. Okay, more or less we have all gone through it. Okay, so whenever we use the word company, okay, what actually we mean to say? An organization. Correct. Similar words, and organization. Okay, we call it firm. We may call it business as well. करेक्ट, यही तो होता है ना, कंपनी एक फर्म होता है या फिर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होता है, एक बिजनेस होता है जो कंपनी चलाती है. करेक्ट. दिस आर द लीगल और मोस्ट नॉमिनल वर्ड्स दैट वी यूज इन डे टू डे लाइफ. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, फर्म है, बिजनेस है. करेक्ट. बट इफ आई टॉक अबाउट थियोरेटिकली, ओके, देन it is a voluntary association. Voluntary association of persons. Okay, voluntary associations of person working together towards a common purpose. Correct. And if I say very basically, common purpose is to earn profit. Correct. This voluntary association means everyone individually. Okay, it's voluntary. Okay, खुद से आते हैं, वो खुद से आके कहते हैं कि yes. So voluntary association of persons working together towards a common purpose, which is basically earning profit. Okay, then why do we call that? Okay, then when we say in FA we prepare P&L account. Okay, we prepare P&L account, we prepare balance sheet. Does not that reflect the financial position of a company? Financial does not that represent the financial position of a company? Definitely they do so. Correct. Definitely they do so. Then, sir, why company accounts was needed, or why a separate rules or code of conduct was needed to govern this Company Act? Okay, so my basic answer will remain the same. Okay, we have just started, guys. Okay, we have just started. So the basic ideology remains, or the basic differentiation between company accounts or what we do in financial accounting remains very simple, is that there were some areas where where everything was done. Okay, we see that we find profit and loss. Okay, we can calculate the financial position. Okay, we do cash flow, we do fund flow, everything. Now, from actually where this cash flow, fund flow are coming, these are originating from company's point of view, not from financial accounting point of view. Correct. So company account what actually did at various places where some separate, what I can say, some separate focus was needed for better decision making, for better control of the organization. It has focused on that. Correct. That's why in company account we never ever learned how to prepare profit and loss account. Correct, because we learned that in financial accounting, and that is known by all. Correct. Here we'll see financial statement. Okay, as per schedule 3. See, basic ideology or the fundamental remains the same. Okay, you will earn something, you will expend, there will be some expenditure related to that earning, and at the end of the day will earn a profit. Okay, everything will show that only. Correct. But this company account shows the financial position or stability of the business in a more proper way. Correct. So it becomes, or it is originated from Companies Act, and somewhere from it is originated from, okay, it take its bylaws and everything from SEBI Act. Okay, so we just started. Okay, so we just uh, started with the word company. Okay, so we, at somewhere or other, we have always been, well, we have always studied about what actually company is all about. Correct. In basic term or in day-to-day life, we call it firm, organization, business. Correct. But if I go with the theoretical definition, it is a voluntary association of persons working together towards a common purpose, which is basically to earn profit. Correct. Now, in group 1 in law paper, you have read about features of a company. Correct. That is separate legal entity, which says that the business and the owner are two distinctive identity. Correct. You must have read about limited liability. Sorry. Limited liability. Here also you have read about 3 different type of limited by shares, limited by guarantee, and unlimited. Correct. Then you must have read about perpetual succession. Perpetual succession. Correct. You must have read about can sue and be sued on its own name. Okay. Okay, separate management is there. Correct. And many more. You have done through that in group 1 law. Correct. Separate legal identity, which actually says that owner and the business are distinctive from each other. Correct. Limited liability, the liability is limited depending upon what it is, guarantee or shares. Perpetual succession, business will go on forever. Owners may come and go, but business will not close. Correct. Can sue and be sued in its own name is the company can file cases on its own name. Even others can also file cases on company's name. Separate management, a separate set of management is required for company. Correct. To run the day-to-day affairs, to run the business more smoothly and in more better way. Correct. This is features. I'm not going to spend lot of time over here because we know it. Correct. Where I'm going to spend more time, or what will be new to you is statutory books. Okay, this will be a kind of new, but I hope you have heard some names somewhere. Okay, and this statutory book has to be
ग्रुप 1 के लॉ में से
maintained at its, हाँ थोड़ा बहुत सबने पढ़ा हुआ है, registered office. Okay, so what are those books? Register of investments held, okay, or made. Okay, register of charges, correct? This though you have done a separate chapter, register of charges. Okay, there are register of members, correct? Sumit and all has been when I only took this session, correct? मैं नहीं कराया था. Register of debenture holder, correct? You have to keep, also have to keep annual return, section 92, if you remember. Minutes book, section 112. Okay, register of contracts, register of direct members has been written, members have written, correct? So register of directors. Okay, and one more will be there regarding register of shareholdings of the directors. Is there any kind of name which seems new to you, or you don't know about it? Yes, if that's the situation, correct. Everyone has heard the name somewhere around, correct? Correct. So I don't think anything has to be discussed separately, what it is or what that is, correct? We all, somewhere or other, we all have read about it, and we all know actually what is it all about, correct? Where register of, if I talk about register of investment held or made, so a separate register has to be maintained in relation to the investment that you have made or you have held. Okay, register of charges, if you have charges against any of your property, for that register has to be there. Okay, okay, who are the members in your company, for that a separate register has to be maintained. Who are the debenture holders? Okay, annual return, section 92. Minutes book, recording of meetings, correct? Decisions taken in a meeting. Register of contracts, okay, what contracts you have taken, what's ongoing, what are there you have already taken for upcoming. Okay, who are the directors registered regarding the same. Okay, and how much shareholding is there with the directors, for that also a separate register has to be maintained, and all of this has to be kept in its registered office, correct? I can move ahead, I think. Now we'll discuss about, now we are slowly moving towards our content. Books of account. Okay, this also has to be kept at registered office. Okay, and what does it discloses? Can anyone say? What does books of account discloses, or what are its content? Anyone? आप लोग try भी नहीं करेंगे? So at first,
Balance sheet, profit and loss account.
balance sheet, profit and loss account. Correct. So you mean to say?
Financial statements.
Correct. So you mean to say details of incomes and expenditure. Details of income and expenditure. Okay. One more is that all sales and purchases made by the company. Correct. If anyone disagrees, okay. All assets and liabilities of company. Now anyone say, is all these 3 points are covering everything, or you think anything is missing? So you'll find out that these points have covered everything. Say about the financial statement, say about the details. Correct. Definitely in book of account, you won't see, rest of the things are covered over here. Correct. Whatever theoretically is needed, whatever accountability is needed, that is maintained in the books of account. Correct. So, okay, I forgot that with what topic we are starting with. We are starting with issue of shares. Okay. This is a very known topic to everyone. Correct. Once in your life, definitely you must have done issues of shares. Correct. If you have not, then I think you have not been into strict commerce. Okay. Definitely, you must have done at least one entry in your life. Correct. Regarding bank account debit to share application account, share allotment account, share securities premium account. Correct. Once in your life, definitely. Now, whenever I talk about shares, what actually is shares? Yes. ये तो आना चाहिए. What is shares? You try, then I'll definitely discuss.
शेयर जो कंपनी जो है अपनी कैपिटल को एकत्र करने के लिए इशू करती है, दैट इज कॉल्ड शेयर. शेयर इज ए टू टाइप, प्रेफरेंस शेयर, इक्विटी शेयर. मार्केट से जो पैसा एकत्र करती है अपनी कैपिटल, शेयर होता है सर.
चलिए ठीक है, गलत नहीं है. एनीथिंग मोर?
लॉन्ग टर्म सोर्स ऑफ फाइनेंस.
लॉन्ग टर्म सोर्स ऑफ फाइनेंस, सही है. तो लॉन्ग टर्म सोर्स ऑफ फाइनेंस सिर्फ ये की है कि और भी है?
और भी है.
चलिए ठीक है. एनीथिंग मोर टू बी एडेड? Okay, so what actually is a share? Now suppose capital, okay, required for my company is, say it is 10 lakh rupees. Correct. So definitely no one can alone. Okay, I'm not saying that no one can never ever, but definitely actually what happens, it is new company. Okay, so 10 lakh, no one is invested, means a sum total of 10 lakh. Correct. So what company does? Company divides it into smaller pieces. Correct. Suppose for example at the rate of 10. So how many parts it will be? It will be
1
1
lakh.
lakh 1 lakh parts. This 1 lakh that is divided into smaller parts is nothing but, this is what we call it, shares. Correct. And equally at the rate 10 per share. Okay. So subdivision of capital into smaller elements is what shares are all about. Okay. And we issue shares for accumulation of funds. Correct. Basic discussion is going on. Correct. Now you see in this whole chapter, now we'll discuss this basic thing only. Company accounts is very easy. It's very easy to score, because whatever we'll read now, except two, three chapters, every chapter once in a life you have done that. Correct. So company accounts is all about one question per day, and you are done for the day. Okay. Now, if I ask you, what are the sources of long-term sources of finance? Okay, I think my handwriting is clear to everybody, correct? It's not that bad.
Everything is okay, sir.
Chaliye. So you understand whatever I write, correct? Then that's okay.
Yes, sir.
Now for long-term sources of finance, so first one I'm writing, otherwise you will say issue of shares. What more it can be?
Yes, sir.
और क्या हो सकता है? बताइए, दो चार नाम बताइए. Long-term sources of finance. Come on,
Debentures.
participate. Yeah. Debentures, correct.
Loans.
Very correct. Loans. One who have done FM yesterday, they should definitely reply. FM वाले तो आप तो reply कर ही सकते. Yesterday in the FM we are discussing these things.
Preference share.
Preference shares. Okay, or we can do issue of shares में ही दोनों आ जाते हैं, correct? In issue of shares there are two parts. One is equity and one is preference. One more is there. I expect answers from those who were there in the last session FM.
Bond हो गया, sir.
Huh?
Bond.
Loans, bonds, they all come together.
अच्छा.
There was something we discussed about dividend policy, dividend decision. In dividend decision, we discussed one was kitna dividend de, correct? How much to pay dividend, and another name was, another decision was
Interest.
नहीं, retained earnings.
Retained.
क्या कर रहे हैं आप लोग? So this is also a long-term source of finance, because I said yesterday only that company keeps these reserves for future utilization. Correct. It's not necessary that they'll distribute dividend only. They can do anything. Okay, and it can also serve as a source of finance for the company. Retained earnings. Retained earnings, correct. Now you got more better view yesterday why I said that whatever dividend decision is also important point of financial management. Now see, you retained something, that's why it become a source of your long term at a future period. Correct. Internal source of finance. That's why yesterday I said that when we'll do company accounts, we understand more better in the retained earnings. Okay, so these are near about all long-term sources of finance and all. Correct. Now, okay, reply me. Have you heard about IPO?
Initial
Yes.
public.
Initial public offer. Public offer, correct. What actually it is?
When a public limited company would like to raise funds through shares open to larger public for the first time.
Yeah. I was looking for that. So it is the very first time when a company starts or company wants to acquire funds from public. So the first ever issue of shares is what we call it initial public offer. Correct. So can a company in a life can do 2 times IPO? Is it possible or not?
No.
No, it's not. So after whatever IPO is done, it will always be subsequent public offer. Okay, we won't. You must not have heard this word, but this is the word. No one uses it. Says that they are issuing. Correct. For the first time they call it IPO, and next time it's always issue. But actually that is subsequent public offer. Correct. Now, the capital which is raised from shares is known as what? It's a foolish question, but let's see. The capital which is raised by the issue of shares is known as what?
It's a issued capital, Shivam sir.
No, not issue. I'm not going to that point right now. It's I called the question is very silly. Share capital. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry for this question. Okay. I apologize. But I asked it and then I remember, अरे ये क्या पूछी? Okay. So silly of me. Okay. So now we are moving towards our chapter, that is issue of shares. Okay. Now we are moving. Okay. Issue of shares. Whatever we raise, we call it as share capital. Okay. Now we are going to read what I can say bifurcation. Okay. Or you may call it different stages of capital. Okay. What Madhu just said, I'm talking about that. So at first, what comes is what is the first term that we use?
Authorized capital, Shivam sir.
Correct. Authorized. Another name? Another name known by anyone?
No idea, sir.
Nominal. One more name is there, which is not very popular. It is registered capital. Registered capital. Madhu, can you explain what actually this capital is? Or which capital will call it as authorized nominal registered capital?
It is the maximum amount of capital that company can offer. Can issue.
Okay. So you're saying that can issue, that not issue, it is that maximum
Maximum it can offer. I couldn't be able to put it in
capital.
the
Okay.
right words.
Authorized
It
by
is
the
correct. Maximum capital with which the company intends to register. Is these words clear? Intends to register means the capital with which, okay, they mention in their in what, where they will mention this AOA or MOA?
MOA.
MOA, correct. Okay, so this is the capital which is mentioned in the MOA of a company. Correct. So my question will be that, can any day company increase the limit of authorized capital? Yes. Can any time in the life of a company, can company increase the limit of authorized capital?
I think no.
Nah, it's wrong. Yes, they can.
No.
Yes sir, कर
Yes.
सकता है.
Yes.
कर सकता है.
But for that they have to pay some extra fee.
जो उसको मोर कैपिटल की जरूरत होगा तब ऑथराइज कैपिटल को बढ़ा देगा.
Correct. Extra payment. Now, you know why the basic logic is like this. Actually, your registration fee depends upon your authorized capital. Okay. So, the larger the authorized capital will be, the more registration fee will be. Correct. So, it might be possible that at beginning, due to the risk of registration fee, okay, I'm opting for lesser one. And after, when my company has grown well, now I feel like that I need to expand my business. Correct. So I have to collect some more money, but I cannot, because my authorized has or registered has already reached. So for that, I can again apply and I can increase the limit of authorized capital. But yes, for that, some extra payment has to be made. Okay. These things you won't find it in the book. Okay. But we are here not to pass, but to gain something. The next is what?
Issued capital.
Issued capital. Issued capital. What is this?
ऑथराइज कैपिटल में से जितना इशू किया जाएगा दैट इज कॉल्ड इशू कैपिटल। ऑथराइज 10 लाख का है और 2 लाख ये किया इशू
Beauty,
किया, ऑथराइज कैपिटल।
beauty, 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 beauty. Anyone, anything more wants to say?
How much capital has been issued to the public?
From authorized, correct. So it is
Yeah.
the part of authorized capital which not has, or like which is, okay, which is offered to the public for okay. Now see, now we are bit in a higher level, so we'll use some appropriate words, okay, like prescribe, subscription and all, okay. Or you can say subscribe, subscription, one in the same, correct. What will be the next? After issued, what it will be?
पेड अप कैपिटल।
We will receive application, no?
Subscribed capital. You want some?
Subscribed capital, correct. Archana, you said something, I missed it.
We will be receiving some application. I didn't know the right word.
Still I'm not able to get you. Can
I
you
was
come up again?
the application that we will receive based on our issue.
Correct.
I could not use
Correct.
that word.
Yeah, that is subscribed capital, because issued is what you have offered for subscription. Now whatever will be subscribed or you will receive the application, that is what we know known as subscribed capital.
Yeah.
Subscribed. Okay, so I'll not ask what it is because you all have already replied. It is part of issued capital. Part of issued capital for which applications are received from public. Okay, why I am making so much effort, I am writing all this, so that for these things you need not to refer book. Okay, you refer the notes, that will be done. Okay, what will be next after subscribed?
Allotment.
Called up capital. You want, sir?
Called up capital. And what it is? What it is?
Portion of portion of subscribed capital. Uh, in other words, that it's how much of payment made, right?
No, not payment. Not payment made
Yeah, it's a
by.
part. It's a shareholder payment. I couldn't able to frame my words.
Okay, I'm getting it that you know. No worry, you cannot put it into words. I got it that you know. हाँ मनोज बताइए, कुछ बताइएगा क्या?
शेयर इशू करने के बाद सर जो एप्लीकेशन होते हैं, एप्लीकेशन के बाद जितने भी शेयर उनको इशू करते हैं, इशू करने के बाद जो हम कॉल करते हैं, जिसको फर्स्ट कॉल, फाइनल कॉल,
क्या कॉल करते हो? वही तो मैं पूछना चाह रहा हूँ, कॉल क्या करते हैं?
कॉल उसको करते हैं सर, जैसे 10 रुपये शेयर है, 10 रुपये शेयर है,
चलिए
उसने
समझ गया।
हाँ
आता है आपको, मैं समझ गया। अब वर्ड्स में नहीं ला पा रहे, सेम प्रॉब्लम एज मेथड। सो इट इज द it is the amount not of, we'll write on the shares. It is the amount on the shares demanded by the company to be paid. Okay, so for example, okay, now say for an example, if shares are of rupees 10 each, okay, and we have only called rupees 2 per share, okay, and say for number of shares are, say for example 1 lakh. So what will be the called up capital? What will be the called up capital?
2 लाख.
This, correct. 2 into 1 lakh, that is rupees 2 lakh is the called up capital. I hope this example has made things clear, correct?
Correct, sir.
Now, what is the next?
First call,
Is,
second call, final
नहीं
call.
नहीं, वो तो दूसरी चीज है, मैं कैपिटल की बात कर रहा हूँ. द नेक्स्ट इज फर्स्ट कॉल सेकंड कॉल, ठीक है आपका, मतलब उसी डायरेक्शन में है.
हाँ.
थोड़ा और बताइए तो मैं समझू, आप समझ मतलब आपको आता है.
तो छूट जाएगा तो कॉल से निर्णय हो जाएगा.
Uncalled up
Right.
capital.
Yes, what? Uncalled capital.
Uncalled up capital. Yeah.
Uncalled up capital. No. It is
paid up capital.
paid up capital. It is what? The part of the capital which is actually paid. Correct. If now, for example, if I brought the above example that my called up capital was 2 lakh, capital was rupees 2 lakh, correct, and 2 rupees, okay, so it was 2 rupees per share, okay, and it was 1 lakh shares were there. Now suppose among this 5 shareholders have failed to pay the money, correct, so what it will be? 5 I have done Zarti only. So what will be my paid up capital? Paid up capital will be, I'm showing you the calculations, 2 into 99,995 shareholders, that is 1,99,990. Correct? Five shareholders failed to pay. Okay. Yes. Till this point, till this point, is it clear to everybody? Yes.
Clear, sir. Clear.
So what we discussed,
Yes, sir.
at first we discussed about some basic introduction about what actually company is, what are its features, what are the statutory books of account is related to all about. Then we discussed about shares. Then we discussed about long-term sources of finance. Okay. Then we went to that issue of shares. Whatever we amount get, we call it as a share capital, and it also has a few subdivisions. So at first comes the nominal, authorized nominal or registered capital, which is nothing but the capital which is mentioned in the MOA of the company while being registered. Okay, then the question comes, can the limit be increased? Then the answer is yes, it can be released, but yes, some extra payment has to be made. Then comes issued capital, the part of the authorized capital which is offered to the public for subscription. Okay, then comes subscribed capital, is what the part of the issued capital which is for which application has been received by the public. Then there is called up capital, means the amount on the shares demanded by the company, and then comes a paid up capital. Okay, the part of the capital which is actually paid. Okay, now we'll discuss a few rules. Okay, and after that we'll move on to our prime point of discussion, that is calculations. Okay, so there is a section 60. there is in section 60, which says, which not is a kind of, it's saying something, but yes, it is asking the company to do something. What it is? Publication of authorized, subscribed, and paid up Okay, section 60 says publications of authorized, subscribed, and paid up capital. So can you say a publication means company, means the rule is saying company to publish, correct? Means that means to show it, correct? So the rule says that, okay, wherever any notice, okay, any notice or advertisement, okay, advertisement, okay, what more it can be? Say some official
एजेंसीज में
official publications, वही agencies में आ जाता है publications. Okay, or what more can I say? Okay, or any company, I'll say that any letter or paper by company where authorized or let me write something, where statement of authorized capital, okay, is shown. Okay, now so what actually it is saying, that any notice, advertisements, official publications, or any letter or paper by company where statement of authorized capital is shown. That means they're showing it to others that this is the authorized capital we have. If they are showing it, then the rule comes, it shall also contain, it shall also contain, what I am writing, contain statement relating to both subscribed and paid up capital in an equally prominent position. Okay, statement relating to both subscribed and paid up share capital in equally prominent position where there will be statement of authorized capital. Is this section very clear to everybody? What actually it is trying to say? See, what actually is trying to say, see what how people used to do, they used to always quote their authorized capital, correct? Because it will always be bigger in numbers, correct? So the public, okay, might be fooled sometimes, correct? Or this is the capital of the company, let's invest. So for that they have made, say at first they are not saying that you have to mention it everywhere, authorized, but where you yourself will mention authorized capital, na, okay, along with that both subscribed and paid up capital statement should also be there, correct? If they would have kept it up to here, na, okay, if they would have kept it up to here, means they would have not written this word, then actually you know what they should have done, At any place, they could have written authorized capital 15 lakh or say 15 crore. And at any place at a very small, like terms and condition, okay, subscribed 1 lakh, paid up 2 lakh. They could have done like this. Don't you think like terms and conditions we see in the advertisements, how they try to befool that whatever the offer is there, they depict in such bigger figures, correct? Big figures. But terms and conditions they write it very small that you have to need a magnifying glass to read that, correct? तो लोग ये कर सकते थे, correct? इसीलिए they have added the word equally and prominent position, means as how authorized capital statement has been presented, the same way subscribed and paid up capital should also be positioned, not like terms and condition, correct? Like this tobacco products ads, correct? At a very small page, you will see that at the end of your screen, tobacco is chewing or smoking is injurious to health, correct? You'll see that disclaimer at a very small, correct? So with that thought, they have done that. Is this clear? Correct. But what if they do default in it? What are the defaults? Maybe they have stated the statement of authorized capital, but not subscribed and paid up, or they have quoted all, but subscribed and paid up is like just like terms and condition, very small. For that, yes, there is some penalty as well. Default will attract penalty. Okay, penalty. Achha, I'll write like this. Each default will attract a penalty of rupees 10,000 to the company and rupees 5,000 for every officer in default. Okay. Now see, have you ever heard about these things? Ever in FA? Never ever. Correct. So that's why company account is there. Okay. Areas where some special focus was needed to be there. Okay. That has been done, or to be done that they have introduced company accounts. Okay. Clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now we'll discuss about stages in issue of shares. What are the stages that are involved in issue of shares? So what is the very first stage it will be? This will be, anyone?
application.
Application. Application. The very first is the application, where you'll receive application from public. Correct?
Correct.
Application, let me write, from public for subscription. Okay. Next stage is what?
Allotments to also.
Allot. Allotment of what?
Share capital.
Correct. Allotment of shares.
Capital.
Shares against.
Application.
Correct. Against the application received.
Yes.
Then what is the stage?
First and final call. Or the
Then,
second call.
then there will be calls. Okay. So I can write it. Calls.
Yeah.
Call for payment on shares. Correct. Here it can be, okay, I'm writing it at a below. Here it can be first call. Okay, after that it will be second call, correct? And there can be n number of calls. Okay, we cannot determine how can be, but there will be third and final call. Correct. Is there anything more which has to be done, which is there in the stages? If I talk about stages in the issue of share,
Yes, sir.
क्या है?
फर्स्ट कॉल, सेकंड कॉल, थर्ड कॉल में यदि कोई पैसे, फर्स्ट कॉल ही सर, फर्स्ट कॉल में यदि कोई पेमेंट नहीं देता है, उसके पास रह जाता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड फेलियर कॉल्स.
Correct.
Forfeiture and reissue.
Forfeiture,
Correct.
first failure,
So
then
we can keep everything, that forfeiture, arrear, and reissue. Correct. Forfeitures, arrears, and reissue of shares. Okay. I'll write in the bracket if failure. Failure लिख दिया. If, or I'll use more better word, if fail to pay calls. Correct. So near about these are the stages. Correct. Now there is a rule. Okay, now we'll again discuss one rule, then we'll move on to our questions and discussions. Okay, there is one rule which says that, take out a color. It says about refund of application money, where you need to refund the application money that you have received. Do anyone knows about it?
yes, sir.
90,
Yes, sir.
90% of share capital should be refunded if they didn't meet up the share.
Correct. Correct. So first of all, there is a clause of minimum subscription. What actually is minimum subscription is all about? Minimum subscription is 90% of issued capital. Okay. So the rule says that if minimum subscription not reached within how many days? Within
30 days. 30 दिन.
Correct. Within 30 days from the date of issue of shares, or I'm adding one clause, but you won't find it anywhere in your syllabus. Okay, or period specified by Security Exchange Board of India. There are only 1% cases where SEBI also interferes, and they sometimes provide them additional days. Okay, so if the minimum subscription, that is 90% of the issued capital, is not reached within 30 days, okay, from the date of issue of shares or prospectus. Okay, sometimes people use the word issue of prospectus as well. This issue of shares or prospectus, one and the same thing. They mean the same thing. Okay, or period specified by SEBI. If they fail to do so, then what have to be done? Refund the application money within
30 days.
within 15 days. Within 15 days from the closure of issue. So within 30 days, they have to refund the money. Within 15 days, they have to refund the money from the closure of issue. Now, suppose on first you issued, correct. So by 31st, 90% is not subscribed, correct. So on 31st, you are closing your issue because within 30 days, the criteria is not matched. So from 1st of Feb to 15th of Feb. So within 15th of Feb, not also 15th of Feb, it will come 14th of Feb. Okay. So by 14th of Feb, you have to refund the money. But if they fail to do so, I mean to say, if there is any default, then directors or officers in default, okay, will have to repay with 15% per annum. So whatever days it will be, we have to divide it by 360, correct? Because it is 15% per annum, correct? So if they have, so in our example, payment has to be made within 15 February, correct? But for an example, if they made it on 18th of February, so by 3 days they are late. So 15 into 3 by 365. Okay, I think that much is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
सर ये दोबारा बता दीजिए डायरेक्टर वाला पॉइंट जो लास्ट में लिखा है।
मतलब अगर 15 दिन में वो पे नहीं करेंगे तो उसके बाद जितना भी लेट होगा 15% का इंटरेस्ट पड़ेगा। अब 4 दिन लेट होंगे तो 4/365 इंटू 15 हो जाएगा, क्योंकि 15% पर एनम का है ना।
जो एप्लीकेशन दिया उसको हम इशू नहीं शेयर कर पाए, तो हम डिफॉल्ट हो गए, तो उसका पेमेंट हम रिफंड करेंगे तो विद इन डेज
नहीं
में
नहीं
करना।
नहीं, डिफॉल्ट हो गया उसकी बात नहीं है। 90% हमारा सब्सक्राइब नहीं हुआ। एक रूल है कि आप जितना इश्यू करोगे उसका मिनिमम 90% सब्सक्राइब हो जाना ही चाहिए। नहीं होगा तो फिर आपका ये इशू, ये काम नहीं करेगा, ये इशू आपका खराब हो गया, ये रद्द हो गया। तो आपको जितने भी पैसे उतने में मिले होंगे ना, सब आपको 15 दिन के अंदर रिफंड करने। और अगर आप 15 दिन से ज्यादा ले लेते हो तो 15% पर एनम का सालाना इंटरेस्ट है। अब आप जितना दिन लेट करोगे बाई 365 इंटू 15 करके निकाल लोगे।
ऑल एप्लीकेशन को जितना एप्लीकेशन किया सारे पेमेंट रिटर्न करना पड़ेगा सर।
करेक्ट करेक्ट।
सर यहाँ पर अंडर राइटर का काम करता है ना, मगर
हाँ वो अलग
अंडरराइटर यहाँ
टॉपिक,
का
वो अलग टॉपिक। अंडरराइटर को देते तो फिर यहाँ पे अलग चीज आती ना, फिर इसकी बात ही
ठीक
नहीं।
ठीक
अभी अंडरराइटर वाला नहीं है। ओके,
अंडर राइटर में कुछ नहीं, सलाह उसी को दे देते, लो तुम बाकी
अंडरराइटर
से।
क्या होता है? अंडरराइटिंग एक्चुअली, अंडरराइटर और अंडरराइटिंग इज बोथ। अंडरराइटिंग इज अ प्रोसेस or instrument, okay, where the company undertakes, or underwriter, okay, they give them that this much of you are issuing the shares, and they give them the guarantee that all will be, okay, all will be subscribed, correct. Now it's on the underwriter part. If they are not able to fulfill it, okay, then they themselves buy the shares, वो खुद
यस,
खरीद लेते, and for that they get underwriting commission. Okay, so if underwriting case will be there, then refund of application has a very rare chances. Okay, but let's not bring underwriting concept right now, because underwriting is underwriting is again there in the next part, means in this chapter only there is a separate, okay, अंडरराइटिंग एक अलग से टॉपिक है हमारे इसी चैप्टर। जब हम आएंगे तो उसके बारे में और डिटेल में डिस्कशंस करें।
ओके
Okay. Okay. So now we are going to start with what you all have been waiting for, is journal entries, entries for issue of, okay, now see, whatever we have done till now, okay, you guys have only said and I have written, correct? Nothing has been done by myself, me myself. Okay, so this also has to be done by you. Okay, so I'll give you the situations and you have to frame the journal entries. Okay, so first will be on receipt of application money. What will be the journal entry?
बैंक अकाउंट टू
Bank to share
एप्लीकेशन।
application.
Bank account debit to share application. Correct. Okay. Being, now you all can write it, correct? Being receipt of application money on that much shares on that amount, correct? So you yourself can write it. I'm not writing it. Next will be for excess share application, for excess share application money refunded.
एंट्री को
Share
उलट देंगे,
application to bank.
एंट्री उलट देंगे उसकी।
Calm down, calm down. Okay. Share application account debit to bank account. Correct? Narration, you all are well qualified now. Correct. It seems like I am only doing the hard work. I am asking, it's not even, you guys are not even taking 2 seconds to think and you are replying. Okay. Now the third case will be for share application money transferred to share capital. What will be the entry?
share capital account to share application money account
नहीं
नहीं
नहीं,
नहीं 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 नहीं,
फिर
शेयर
उल्टा।
एप्लीकेशन टू शेयर कैपिटल जाएगा।
करेक्ट। ना इफ आई से दैट देयर इज सिक्योरिटीज, उसमें प्रीमियम भी है एप्लीकेशन मनी में,
हाँ कोई दिक्कत नहीं सर, प्रीमियम है तो प्रीमियम का एंट्री हो जाएगा साथ में।
कैसे जाएगा वही तो पूछ रहा हूँ। दिक्कत तो नहीं है, मुझे भी पता है।
नहीं नहीं, प्रीमियम कराएगा सर, उसमें तो प्रीमियम का हो जाएगा आपको, शेयर एप्लीकेशन अकाउंट हो जाएगा सर।
हाँ,
और
डेबिट
Share
डेबिट शेयर।
application to share capital.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, शेयर कैपिटल तो होगा ही, बट प्रीमियम
हम्म,
उसमें बीच में घुसेगा। ठीक है ना,
मतलब डेबिट में आएगा क्रेडिट में, मैं ये पूछना चाहता
प्रीमियम प्रीमियम का सर,
हूँ। हाँ,
प्रीमियम का
Premium is
क्रेडिट,
debit.
क्रेडिट में ना,
करेक्ट, प्रीमियम इज इन क्रेडिट।
क्रेडिट में जाएगा।
सो इट विल बी, यू आर सेइंग शेयर एप्लीकेशन अकाउंट डेबिट टू सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम टू शेयर capital. Is it that so?
हम्म।
Correct. Yes, this is. Now, narration qualified. Okay. Fourth one, what we have done till now, we have just transferred, correct? Now, share allotment and let's not write started, share allotment money, share allotment money due. What it will be?
अलॉटमेंट करेंगे टू कैपिटल करेंगे।
Share allotment to share capital.
If issued at premium,
A debit premium as it was a credit, right?
correct. Premium will always be credited. Now, can I ask you that can it be issued in discount?
No, company law doesn't allow it. I mean,
Dis
2013 company law has been objected.
Okay. What is the section? Do you know that?
No, no,
It's
I couldn't say.
I'm doing too much, na?
53।
53. अरे
Yeah,
मनोज,
is correct. Section 53.
क्या हुआ मनोज?
सर
सब ठीक है ना?
हाँ ठीक है सर, जिलेबी जिलेबी थोड़ा ज्यादा खा लिए सर।
जिलेबी वहां खाए थे, खाया करिए फिर। अब एग्जाम में 2 किलो जिलेबी जेब में पॉकेट में भर के ले जाइए। So share allotment account debit to share capital. Correct.
यस सर।
If premium is there, then to securities premium.
यस सर।
To securities premium. Narration being qualified. Okay. Now fifth situation. क्या हो सकता है fifth situation?
शेयर अलॉटमेंट कर दिया, अब तो उससे पैसा मांग, पैसा देगा अलॉटमेंट का आपको।
Payment
Correct.
of allotment. Payment for allotment.
Allotment money received. Correct. What will be the entries?
अलॉटमेंट को नीचे कर देंगे और बैंक को ऊपर कर देंगे।
Bank to share allotment.
Okay. And suppose if there is calls in arrear,
कोई दिक्कत नहीं सर, एरिया रहेगा तो कोई
Call
दिक्कत
and
नहीं।
arrears debit.
हाँ यस।
call in arrear debit. And if there is some call in advance,
Is
एडवांस भी रहेगा
credited.
सर।
नहीं एडवांस में जाएगा, मैं डेबिट क्रेडिट पूछ रहा हूँ।
Credit.
Credit, correct. Being allotment money received, so it will be bank account debit, correct?
Yeah.
Bank account debit. If there is calls in arrear, that will also be debit. Calls in arrear account also debit. Okay, we shouldn't do it like this. It should be debit. Okay, to share allotment. to share allotment, and if there is some calls in advance, then calls in.
सर कॉल्स इन एडवांस रिसीव करेंगे तो डेबिट में रिसीव करेंगे सर।
क्यों?
हम
डेबिट कैसे
रिसीव कर
करेंगे
हम
ना?
रिसीव कर
ये एडवांस है, ये लायबिलिटी हो जाएगी ना मेरी। कुछ भी हम रिसीव एडवांस में रिसीव करते हैं, इसका मतलब क्या है हमारा?
अच्छा 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 ठीक है।
लायबिलिटी है कि नहीं?
नहीं नहीं समझ गया, उसको एडजस्टमेंट में करेंगे तो डेबिट करेंगे। यस यस
करेक्ट।
एडजस्टमेंट में
अगले
करेंगे।
एंट्री में जब हम उसको दिखाएंगे ना,
एडजस्ट
तब करेंगे।
एडजस्ट करेंगे। यस।
चलिए, नेक्स्ट वन विल बी फॉर कॉल मेड. ओके,
Calls.
कॉल मेड. सो विल कीप इट सिंपल, फर्स्ट एंड फाइनल कॉल. मैं 4-5 बार लिखने वाला हूँ. ओके, सो व्हाट इट विल बी? कॉल मनी ड्यू. सो व्हाट विल बी द एंट्री?
ड्यू का एंट्री बनाएंगे। कॉल
हाँ,
शेयर
क्या?
कॉल शेयर टू कैपिटल सर बनाएंगे। शेयर
Calls. First call to share capital. First and final call to share capital.
I'm writing share call account debit to share
कैपिटल अकाउंट।
capital account. Okay, what more entries can be made?
कॉल को रिसीव करेंगे सर, पेमेंट वो देगा हमको, या तो एडजस्ट कराएगा एरियर से या रिसीव कराएगा पेमेंट देगा, तो पेमेंट की एंट्री बनाएंगे। पेमेंट की एंट्री मतलब बैंक अकाउंट टू, और कॉल्स को नीचे में कैपिटल में ढकेल देंगे। सॉरी सॉरी नीचे डाल देंगे।
ढकेल दीजिएगा तो भी चलेगा. एग्जामिनर को कहाँ पता चलेगा आपने धक्का मुक्की किया? For call money received, it will be, you said, bank account debit, correct?
यस सर।
चलिए, अगर if there is again calls in arrear, then
कैसे एरियर आएगा तो
again
डेबिट
Same
में डाल।
treatment like allotment.
arrear, calls in arrear account will also
यहाँ
be
पर
debit. Now,
पर
yes, now that question, this calls in advance will be adjusted now.
यस सर डेबिट में डालेंगे तो
Correct.
Debited.
Calls in advance will also be debit to share call.
फिर कॉल्स
Correct. So, means, shall I ask, is it clear or not? Better I do not ask, correct?
बहुत हद तक क्लियर।
Okay, so we'll see this illustration, this one, and we'll end to this session over here. Okay. So the question says that PK Limited made an issue of 10 lakh equity shares of 10 each, payable 2 on application, 4 on allotment, and 4 on a call. All the shares are subscribed and amount duly received. Past journal entries to give effect to this. Correct. So you can see, okay, I'll suggest you one way to do that. Okay, always na ek rough mein always do prepare a table on the rough mentioning how many shares are there.
10 lakh।
Correct. What is the face value of the shares?
10 रुपया।
10 rupees. Okay. So what amount will receive?
ये वो जीरो
One-
बढ़ जाएगा, सात को
1
जीरो।
crore. Correct. What is on application?
2 रुपये।
2 rupees. Okay.
हम्म।
But what total we should receive?
ये 10 लाख इंटू 2।
Just a second. It will be 20 lakh. Correct. And allotment,
4 रुपीज।
the same, 20 lakh. And for first and final,
4 रुपीज।
I'll just writing it call. ₹4
सर वे
into
अमाउंट अलॉटमेंट का अमाउंट, सर अलॉटमेंट का अमाउंट।
हाँ sorry it's 4 ना, sorry it's 4 into 10 lakh, so it will be 40 lakh, and here it will be also 40 lakh. Okay, so this is the data available to us. Okay, हमेशा ये मतलब करिएगा, मैं करता हूँ कितना भी. Okay, no matter how is the level of sum, too easy too hard, if you have this ना, so that अब जब करेंगे ना देखेंगे आपको ये बहुत हेल्प करेगा करने. Okay, okay, so what I'll do, I'll just go over here, मैं इसी में डेटा बिठा दूंगा. Okay, so application. So how much was received on application? 20
20 लाख।
lakh. Correct. So bank account debit to share application account. Correct. So it will be अरे 20 lakh. Correct. Then what was done? Then we will transfer this money to share capital account.
टोटल अमाउंट क्या
Correct.
होगा?
This entry is not valid over here. Correct. Because we haven't got anything excess. Correct. So the next entry will be share application account to share capital. Securities premium is not there. So how much will go? Same 20 lakh. 20 lakh. 20 lakh. Share application account to share capital account. Correct. After application, what will be done? Allotment money will be made due. Correct. And it is of 40 lakh amount. If you see the table, 40 lakh amount. Correct. So 40 lakh and 40 lakh, no premium. Then we'll receive the money. Correct. Bank account debit to share allotment only. No calls in arrear, no calls in advance. 40 lakh. 40 lakh, no calls in advance. Correct. Then call is made, first and final call, ₹4 करके 10 lakh shares. Correct. So it will be 40 lakhs again. Any issue? अभी तक कोई दिक्कत?
नहीं सर।
And then call money received, it will be 40 lakh, no calls in arrear, no calls in advance, and share call. Is it clear to everybody? Or बहुत सिंपल सा था. Correct. Nothing can be more simple than that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Correct.
Yes.
रोहित, समझ में आया ना?
100% अभी नहीं आ रहा है, मगर वो आ जाएगा. वीडियो देखेंगे ना, हो जाएगा. जब बनाएंगे ना
आपको
वो
समझ
तो.
रहा हो आप एंट्रीज थोड़ा तो ठीक है. आप कुछ नहीं, देखिए जनरल एंट्री आता है ना, बस वही है यहाँ पे. सिर्फ यहाँ पे आपको अकाउंट आइडेंटिफाई करना है कहाँ से क्या हो रहा है. इसीलिए ना मैंने ये सारी चीजें लिखी है, ये वाली चीजें. ओके, ताकि किसी को नहीं आता हो ना तो वो ये पढ़ के समझ पाए कि एंट्रीज क्या हो, क्योंकि यहीं से तो पता चल रहा है कि एंट्री क्या होने वाला है. इसलिए मैंने अलग से इसको लिखा है. ठीक है. सो फॉर टुडे विल कीप इट अप टू हियर, एंड इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन दैट इज संडे मॉर्निंग. ओके, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली संडे मॉर्निंग सेशन विल बी थोड़ा थोड़ा लंबा जाएगा. ठीक है, मे बी 7 to 10 इट विल बी. ओके,
ठीक है सर.
ऑन
ठीक है
दैट,
सर।
क्योंकि हफ्ते में 2 ही सेशन है ना कंपनी अकाउंट्स के, तो
ठीक है
थोड़ा एक संडे वाला सेशन में थोड़ा सा लंबा खींचो. Okay,
ठीक है.
so in that session we'll do the next sums, and if you okay, I don't think any more sums will be there, and I don't think you also need right now. Okay, or you can do one thing now. There is you can try out illustration 2 in the mat. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
illustration except first call money. Okay, there is one calls in arrear है एक. ठीक है, and calls in arrear 2 बार. Correct. Rest everything is simple. Premium is also there. Correct. So you will try this one. Okay. हो जाता है तो ठीक है, नहीं होता है तो डरने की बात नहीं, अपन है ना. Okay. So we'll keep it up to here. We'll see you in the next session. So thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.